Hey guys, thanks for joining us tonight. Just gonna give everybody a minute or two here to jump on, and then we'll get started right away here. I just want to send out a couple of invites, and we'll get rolling here. Give me 1 second. Alright, just let me know if you can hear me okay. Just give me a yes or a no, and we'll get started. Been having some audio issues. That stupid wireless mic that I've got did not work again, so the audio was cutting in and out. So if you guys could just do me a real quick favor and just let me know that you can hear me okay. I'll get going here. Okay, we're gonna get going right about now. So thanks for joining us. Appreciate that. Us, when I say us, I mean me, or us as in F45 Trading. Just getting something set up here quick. All right, I think we're pretty well good to go. So just want to talk real quick about non-farm numbers coming out on Friday. And I mean, really there's nothing going on in terms of trading that I want to look at. You can see here, like, I'm just dialing in on the US dollar. It's just been in a steady uptrend. I mean, this thing's been ripping for the past well, since pretty much about April 20th. It's been running nice, and it took out all of these highs in here, took out the old high back in here, and didn't look back for a second, just steamrolled right up on through. It even took out this consolidation area here today. I say today, Thursday, sorry, Wednesday's trading, this big green candle right here. It 1 second, guys, sorry about that. I'm just experiencing a bit of technical difficulties. There we go. Yeah, so it steamrolled past this consolidation area, and I basically said the line in the sand, in my opinion, if we were going to go higher, price would break through this big, thick, solid black line here at 92.80, 92.90, basically, you could call it. And it just, I mean, it didn't stop for a second. It just smashed past that on Tuesday's trading, and then yesterday's trading, Wednesday, smashed up through there one more time, put it in a nice high, and it actually traded. So the high comes in right at the top of this candle there at 92, you can call it 92.65 on this feed here. Depending on what your feed is, it might be a little bit different, plus or minus a couple of pips, but for all intents and purposes, call it 92.60 to 92.65. And with that being said, that takes us right back up into this small area right here, and sorry guys, I'm trying to do a live stream on a social media platform and it's not working very well for whatever reason. Anyway, smashed up into here, and now it's seeing a little bit of rejection. So I would imagine, I'll be honest with you, I would imagine we're probably going to get a little bit of pullback here. Non-farm coming up on Friday, so I don't trade the markets Thursday, Friday before non-farm, just because markets can tend to be a little bit interesting, and you definitely don't want to get caught in any whipsaws. But honestly, I would hope there's a little bit of pullback. And, you know, by pullback, I'd like to see price maybe come back down and just kind of retest off of these highs here. If it goes lower than that, then this orange line right here, there's a bit of an area right in here that I believe they could come back and clean up at 91.75 basically. So that could be, you know, we could see this rip back down here, and it's not too far away. I mean, we're 92.30, call it 92.40 right now. You know, that's only about 60 pips, 60, 70 pips away, so you could easily do that in a non-farm event, tag off that, and then just keep resuming higher. Now, you got to look out at the daily chart and look back into here and just kind of cut back through some candles. There's definitely some areas of inefficiencies above current price action where I believe it could be a draw on price. Namely, these two relatively equal highs up here, I think, are definitely could be a target that they haven't been up to since the end of 2017. So without question, that could be on the minds of the market makers right now, and that could be where they're looking to hunt and to get to. So just kind of keep that in mind. We could see continual bullish action on the U.S. dollar. Now, I don't suggest that it's going to get there right off the bat or anything like that. You know, more so if, like I say, if I drop down into a daily time frame, and I'm just going to shift the chart a little bit. So here's today's close. Going back into here, I mean, we're really up into some very, very old territory here, and you know, in terms of liquidity available, it's right above here and maybe a little bit in this area right here. So I'll just draw a little bit of a chart. So pretty much this area right up in here, there could be a little bit of liquidity resting. But like I say, it's not a ton. You know, we've taken all the stops above the market. You know, the bulls have definitely come out to run on this one, and they haven't looked back. They really haven't given a chance to let anybody get into the market. Some minor pullbacks here and there, but pretty much a nice straight up market. So it's been great. Great to witness, because there's definitely been a lot of action on some of the pairs that we follow. So, but like I say, going forward, I'd like to see them come back down, and basically this orange line right here, I'd like to see if they want to come back and test this here. So they tried to jam back through here. There are some ISM numbers and some FOMC meeting speeches on Wednesday late afternoon that this little spike down came and grabbed up some of the liquidity there, but they did not take the lows under here. So that could be a bit of a fake out or a prelude to what's to come on Friday. They could smash the market down here, or even just start to dribble the market down on Thursday, and then again non-farm hits Friday and they jam it down one more time and then scream it back up. Or this is the high. That's the other alternative. You know, they come in and just a nice one candle up, one candle back down rejection, and you've got yourself almost like a tweezer top, essentially, and that's kind of what we got right there. You see that? See those two little wicks on those candles, those tweezer tops right there? That is definitely a topping formation, and we could see price start to run down from there and run lower, because like I say, there is lots of liquidity under here. So big draw on price, I believe, back down into this area down here, which is basically just the highs of this small consolidation range in here. And if we lose this low, so I'm just going to put this marker right here. In my opinion, I believe if we lose this low, then we will see much further downside. And this little short-term bull run could be over, and they're now looking to go back down to downside and continue this bull run, or bear run back down here. Don't know that that's the case, but we'll have to watch and see. But they definitely convincingly cleared and took out this high right here. And I'll be honest with you, I'd love to see if they got back up above here and here. That would be just some nice setups to come that we could watch for. So That's kind of what I'm looking at the US dollar. Love to see some continued bullish action on there, but we definitely have taken out some highs that we haven't been to since last year. So just be careful. They could roll the market over right from here and you know, basically stop everybody out right now who's long. And correct. If you're in any positions, anything like that, that's Forex related, I would definitely highly recommend you exit them before non-farm happens tomorrow, because we could get some big whipsaw action. And just to discuss that real quick, I'm just going to bring up a real quick news event calendar here for you guys so you can have a quick look and see sort of what we're dealing with. You can see Thursday several news events for the euro, for CAD, and some medium impact news events for the US dollar. Not much going on in the yen. Obviously, there's a bank holiday there tomorrow, but definitely some movement I think we're going to see in the US dollar. ISM manufacturing news, non-manufacturing news, and sorry, it was ADP non-farm employment change numbers that came out on Wednesday that whipsawed the market in the morning, and then the FOMC statement and the fund rate that did that last sort of little whipsaw at the end of the day. And then, like I say, and then we've got all our average hourly earnings, non-farm, and unemployment rates, and the big show is happening on Friday with a smattering of FOMC speeches at the end of the trading day. So it could be an extended day again. They could drag the market out a little bit, doing some whipsaws. And just keep in mind, you know, you definitely don't want to be holding positions over the weekend, just in case. You never know what they may do. You think price is nice and steady and you come back to a black swan event or something like that over the weekend. There's absolutely nothing you can do. So you don't want to be caught in one of those, especially over non-farm. Just don't trade. Go flat on your positions and stay out of the market for Forex. Just because of these events here and it's only one day of the month. So if you guys can't trade for one day of the month, you got issues. But that's what we're looking at on the calendar. So getting back to the charts, Euro USD, same nice pullback that the dollar has seen, same nice run, obviously the mirror opposite. The one thing is, though, that I want to draw your attention to is have a look at this. I'll keep that one on there. But have a look at, give me a line here that I can use. You see this? So this low was swept. Sorry, this high was taken out on the US dollar. So this comes in, this low was put in here January 9th and 10th. Okay, that little swing low, January 9th and 10th. Keep that in mind for just a second. Okay, I just want to kind of show you something here. This is the same swing high on the US dollar, January 9th, January 10th, and then price rolled over. So you see how the US dollar took that high there? There was a failure on the euro's part to take that low. So I find that very interesting, that they did not, because this is supposed to pretty much mirror almost exactly what the US dollar is doing. Whatever the US dollar is doing, this should be doing the exact opposite. Failed to take out that low, which I find is quite interesting. So now, one of two cases for that. One being they're saving that for Friday and they're going to do a big drop down, sweep all the lows, and then rip this thing higher, because there definitely is a couple of levels down in here where I could see them bringing price down to, namely right in here, this small consolidation area right in here. I believe they could trade back down to, which would sweep the stops under here, and potentially, just keep this in mind as well too, potentially, you see this? There's somewhat equal lows right in here as well too. That not perfect equal lows, but definitely some liquidity under here that they didn't bother to come down and grab. They usually trade back down to the consolidation areas, and they definitely did not do that in this case. They tried to get down to the tops of that, but you see how there's a little bit of room in there where they didn't come in. That could definitely be an area where we may see price trade down to as well too, if we see a big drop and a big run up again above these highs here for the US dollar. This would put us under here for the Euro USD, so keep that in mind. Again, and you know, Thursday, Friday's trading, they could just basically trade this thing back up, tag off of this 120.55 level, and then just start dropping it from there. You know, or the other alternative is they're just going to come up right now, bounce off of here, and Thursday they roll over, and Friday they keep smashing it down. So by no means do I think that this level that it's at right now is going to be the low in euro. It could definitely be the high in the US dollar. And just keep that in mind. It did take out a significant high. It's at a very significant level right now. We should see some rejection at this level. Do I think it's going to go back down here under and get under here from this level? I don't think so. I think it's probably going to push up a little bit more. You know, if I had to bet on it, if someone was said, you know, which way are you going to go, I'd say it's probably going to be running higher. Short term, we could see a bit of a drop though. Okay, so that's sort of what I'm thinking. Same type of thing. We could see a little bit of a run up into here and then them drop it down and continue going lower for Thursday and Friday's trading. So, you know, that's kind of what I'm sort of thinking for the euro, at least anyway. And like I say, there's lots of areas under here, 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 and here that they did not bother to come and soak that liquidity up on their way, on their run up. So definitely lots of areas that price could reach for. And the other option as well too, I mean, maybe this is SMT divergence and they failed to take out this low, or the dollar took out the high. The dollar satisfied all of the short positions that the bank is getting on, and now they're going to start screaming this thing lower. And they failed this, and this failure swing here is an indication that this is going higher. They didn't want to drop it down anymore, and so they're just going to keep and smashing this thing up past this consolidation here, and then get back up into these highs up in here. So just you know keep that in mind. You got to definitely play both sides of the market and figure out what levels to look at. And so right now, short term, I'm expecting either 2055 or 119, you know, 10 basically. I'd like to go a few pips underneath this low here. So 119.10, one of those two levels will get tagged Thursday or Friday of this week. So it's just a matter of which way they want to go. I don't know. Nice pullback here, nice bear run. You know, this definitely set off in motion a sequence of events, and it's just triggered the liquidity all the way down. There definitely is liquidity under here. So again, same type of idea as the US dollar. If they brought it all the way back up here, why would they keep running it all the way back down here? You know, I mean, they certainly could, right? I mean, you know, certainly could return it back to this level down here after they took that. But like I say, like they didn't take that low on the euros. So for them to reject on the dollar and come all the way back up and tag up on that consolidation, you know, below the market on the dollar down here, this would do the same similar thing. And then just to drop it back down again, I don't know if they're going to do that. You know, I think they're closer to these highs here now than this low down here. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. That's why they call it non-farm, and that's why we sit on the sidelines. Once the market gives us a direction that they want to head, that's when you start placing your bets. The pound dollar, this one really held last week up in here, and then just finally last week they started to let this one go. That was Friday's trading, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yesterday's trading, a bit of a mixed bag. It just sort of, you know, ran back up here, kind of faked everybody out, and then dropped it back down. And I think they're probably going to go lower on this one as well. They definitely hit a very, very significant level in here. But this candle right here, this big rejection candle, little suspect to me. I don't know that that's a very convincing candle that they're going to start driving this thing back up. I think they just ran it back up to grab some stops. And I think they're going to probably sink this one back down. But again, same thing as the euro. You see this? Failure to take out that interim low right there. This is the same failure to take out that interim low there, and I believe this would be the same date. Yeah, January, remember that January 9th, 10th, 11th swing low on the euro right there, January 9th, 10th, 11th, and then the swing high on the US dollar, January 9th, 10th, and 11th. Cable has failed to get lower than that as well too. So we have two pairs now that typically follow in synchronicity with the US dollar. That have so far not reached to the level. So one of two things: it's a prelude to what's about to come, and these two do not have the strength to push lower, and therefore the dollar is going to reject, and therefore these will reject and run higher, or you know, we'll have another target to shoot for on the downside if we get continuation on the US dollar running higher. Now, the big theory is very bullish, okay? So we're very, very bullish on these pairs here. You can see this big bull run. I'm definitely not changing my mind on that one. However, there could be a little bit more room to run on this guy here yet. But you can see it broke through this trend line here. But there is an area down here. See this 38.2% retracement level? There definitely is a little area right in here on the weekly that interests me, that price, I believe, still could reach down into. I don't necessarily think this level down here is going to get ran unless we see much, much higher prices on the US dollar. You know, i.e. up in here, then maybe we'll run below there. But I'm still bullish on this pair. So what my whole trading idea was, this area in here, and this is why you don't just jump into trades right off the bat, right? You got to wait and watch for price to stop moving to the downside before you get in long. But my idea was for price all the way up in here, triggering, going higher and lower, and basically chopping through, creating a new high. I've been saying that I'm looking for price to reverse, to come back down to this level, to soak up all of the liquidity under this little consolidation area, and then potentially get long again. Well, I didn't come online, I didn't say, okay, price smashed under this low here, we're testing off of this high and these highs in here, everybody get long, right? You can't do that. You don't know if they're going to continue this thing lower, especially on a non-farm week. You just really don't know. So you want to wait. Definitely don't put any trades out on Friday. But, you know, coming on Monday, Tuesday, that's when you start to see, you know, the market makers are playing their hand, and that's when you know the directional bias. If it's going to be a reversal, if this is it, and we start going higher, you will find out on Monday and Tuesday's trading, and that's when you get in, and that's when you get long, and then you target the highs up in here for either a swing trade or daily trade it all the way up. But you definitely don't want to just get long just because it hit a couple levels in here. You got to wait and watch to see what price does, okay? So with that being said, again, two areas, it's the same similar area, and it was the exact same conversation that I was having with the Euro USD. You see this area under here, so price was chopping in here, and I wanted to return back to the highs in here, and I bet you this faked a lot of people out. This move right here, this was Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. This was last Friday's trading. I bet you this faked a lot of people out. Price came, slammed into here, and then one more big down day on Friday, and then price rejected. I bet you a lot of people dogpiled in on that candle right there, and we're thinking, okay, exactly what I was thinking, you know, let's get long on this thing and drive the market up, and it's going to start taking out highs again. And look what they did. The very next day, they smashed it down, smashed it down, smashed it down. So that's exactly why you want to wait and see what price does. You don't want to jump into things just because it hits a level that you're looking at. You don't know that those levels are going to provide the necessary reaction in price. You could see a continuation lower, which is exactly what we saw here. So you have to wait for price to confirm what it's doing. But anyway, that's kind of the idea that I had. Again, we're going to have to wait and see. This low is going to be the next target. If price gets below here, we'll have to hold off to those long ideas, because I think they're going to want to kind of take it down and scoop up some of this liquidity under here. And then if it goes lower than that, then we could be turning our bullish standpoint on the euro and the cable to, you know, intermediate term bearish idea if we start to lose these levels in here, because we could come right back and start testing these levels down in here again. So we'll have to watch for that. But again, could get a bounce off those levels, could get a bounce anywhere in here really, and price will just resume to the upside. But if you look at this, and the other thing too you got to look at, so I'm just going to pull a quick fib. So let's just say we took the low to the high here. You know, I wanted, this was a convincing swing low. They haven't taken anything out. These two swing lows, basically, you could make an argument case for it. But the swing low to the swing high, you can see now, if they took this low here and took this low here, mainly this low here, it would come back down to that sort of 72 to 79% retracement level. Again, another key fib area for price reversals that we could be seeing. So, you know, that's definitely something there as well too. If we move it up to this low here, that's just a sweep of this low right here, you know, 79% right there. So again, a couple of confluences that could be potentially starting to line up, so we'll have to watch those areas. My eyes are definitely going here, and if this low gets broken, then my eyes are going to go right here, and if that gets broken, then we're going to go here. So those are the 3 levels on the downside. On the upside, again, if this level here gets ran through this 120.55 level, 120.60, then I think we're probably going to resume higher. So that's the 2 levels I'll be looking for. US CAD consolidation as usual. This is going to be a great trade when the price releases. You can see here, right, same type of idea. So we have price run up, creates a high, runs back down, consolidates, swings lower, consolidates, gets a bounce, consolidates. Now from here, if price in the US dollar drops, then we will see price, we should see price continue to drop along with it. If price runs up and continues higher on the US dollar, we will see price run higher and potentially shoot for this high in here. So we'll have to wait and see what price wants to do there. But rest assured, I believe we will see a good move on US CAD. Price is really consolidating nicely, and it's just kind of tightening up and tightening up and tightening up. And I mean, really, they haven't run out of a 128, 129 to 128. They've really been in an 80 pip radius, you know, give or take, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just about 2 weeks of trading now. So I would imagine that we'll start to see non-farm start to push things out of this area. And then we'll finally get the direction of where US CAD wants to go. So again, there's no rush. There's lots of room. If it's going to go up and take out this high, I mean, we're, you know, 250 pips. If it goes down and takes out or bounces just off of these highs here, you know, we're 250 pips basically. So that even if price ran out of this range, you know, 100 pips, there's still 150 pips there on either side that you can easily capture, and that would be a nice trading range to wait for, you know, right there. So no issues, no rush. Watch US CAD though. That's definitely on my radar screen. Whether it breaks higher or lower, I'm going to be all over that. And for all of our members at F45 Trading, which, by the way, I don't know if anybody here is with us, but go to f45trading.com and sign up for free for 14 days. You get all of our signals and just so much more, live chat room, one-on-one trading, the whole bit with us. And our members will get notification on specifically what the US CAD does, the Euro USD, and the pound dollar, just to name a few. So some great benefits there. That's about all I wanted to discuss. Crude oil still locked in this consolidation, so nothing here yet, unfortunately. I believe we should start to see price move fairly soon, but again, I think I expressed my ideas on Tuesday London Open, where I want to see price run on crude oil. I want to see it drop down, come into this area here, and then I'd be looking for some buys. If price breaks through, see this this small consolidation area right here, I'll just maybe bring this guy down here, and so you can kind of see what I'm talking about a little bit better. If we get some reaction off of these highs here, I'll be looking to get long and get price above here. If price breaks through here, comes down and closes below the middle of this consolidation range, I'm going to be looking for them to come down and finally sweep these lows in here that I've been talking about now for the past 2 months, basically, and see if they want to go for those. So we'll just have to wait and see. Right now on crude oil, I don't see any trade set up that interests me. Some people love to trade this kind of stuff, not this guy. I don't find that conducive to, you know, to highly probable trading. If you're trading it and you're making money in it, good for you. I think a lot of it's luck. And eventually you will get burned on that, there's no question. I would rather be the guy that waits, sits on his hands and waits for a nice setup, and then you get a $2 or $3 movement on it, and those are the ones that pay out and you have almost no drawdown, versus the other ones where I think essentially you are gambling. You're definitely scalping, and I'm not a big scalper. So that's about it. Orange juice is just screaming, and this pisses me off because it offered me the entry right down here on this candle right here, and I wasn't in front of the damn charts to do it. I should have put out the signal. I didn't. I definitely regret that one. If you're an orange juice trader, and you missed this move, my apologies. I just did not. Unfortunately, I can't see every move. I got a lot of stuff to analyze, and sometimes I set the alert and everything, and I just was not in front of my computer when it happened, and it missed opportunity, unfortunately. But you can see the reaction off of these levels. Some of these commodities that I'm looking at right now just have beautiful reactions. I mean, this one move right here, if you have 1 or 2 contracts on this, I mean, this would be paying you thousands and thousands of dollars in, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. You know, 2 weeks of trading, you could literally be up potentially anywhere from, well, what's the levels? What are we, 4,500 I called the entry, well, that I wanted to see anyway, and it's now trading up to 6,000, 6,000. I mean, you're literally talking thousands of dollars on that move. So opportunity missed, unfortunately, but there's great thing is there's lots of commodities and lots of setups. Like this setup right here on sugar that I've been talking about for a while. Price finally confirmed what I wanted it to do. I sent a signal out to the membership group on this one, and we've got our targets put in place on where we want to take. Obviously, right there, there's the target. So price came down into our entry level here yesterday, and price reacted beautifully. So I'm expecting continued higher prices on sugar, and again a move all the way up into these areas way up there. See that 0.1520 level? That's where I think it's going to go. I mean, a move like that with a couple of contracts on sugar, I mean, it's going to take you up into, again, I mean, it'll just multiply your trading account exponentially. Your demo trading account, obviously this is all hypothetical. None of this is trading advice. I'm not a licensed traded advisor or broker, and am not trained in giving commodity advice. I just call them as I see them, and a lot of times I'm right. But I am not a professional, guys, in terms of being licensed to trade commodities, so I'm not offering you any trade advice whatsoever. So please make sure you understand that. You trade at your own risk. Whatever you do is between you and your computer. Don't share it with me. I don't want to know. So that's all I got to say about sugar. Natural gas. I am bullish natural gas. However, we're still kind of in the slump right here. See these equal highs right here? Price is going to hit it. Price is going to go and take these equal highs out. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. I think we're a little bit a ways yet from the natural gas explosion that I'm looking for. I'm kind of thinking into June that this market might start running, so I'll keep you updated on that. I'm going to keep watching this one develop. We could see a bit more of a pullback here. Price may want to come down kind of into this small consolidation area right over here. You see this one right here. I think we could see a decline back down into that. See these equal lows, 1, 2, 3 lows right there. Again, very suspect. I think they're going to drop price down. They're going to do it this week. So we could see an entry level on natural gas. But again, I'm not in a big hurry to get this one. I think there's going to be lots of trying to trade natural gas, but I think ultimately, you know, long term, I think we could trade back up there, you know, very soon. So we'll watch for that. Bitcoin, not much I can say about here. Just again, consolidation, not a whole lot of action. I think we could see price trade up into here, this 10,000, 10,500, but I don't think these 12,000, I mean, I could be wrong. This 12,000 level could get hit, but I definitely think that this level underneath price is going to get hit down here. This sub 6,000 level, I think that's where it's going to ultimately go. They just came down here and just kind of slowly squeaked the price back up, and very unconvincing in my opinion. I think we're going lower personally. That's my personal opinion. And that's Bitcoin, and and here's the thing with cryptocurrencies, there are now literally hundreds and hundreds of cryptocurrency offerings out there, ICOs, I mean, you name it. I mainly follow Bitcoin because it's obviously the biggest one out there. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. There's the Ethereum chart, very similar as Bitcoin, but I think that you know, that level right there on Ethereum, you'll probably see some reaction at that level, lower, I believe. But you know, we'll have to wait and see on Bitcoin. Right now, it's just consolidating straight sideways for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2 weeks again, just straight sideways. So not too much to talk about there. Price is gathering up orders. Just know that it is gathering up orders, and this thing will spring, and it will release, and it'll look like something like this, or like this, or like this, you know, or like this, but I just don't know which way it's going to go right now, because it's literally, I did a fib, there it is right there, see this fib? From the high to the low, it is sitting right on the 50% level. Price could go either way. Just so keep that in mind, okay, if you're a Bitcoin trader. That's about all that I see. Nice little reaction on coffee here, so I find that quite interesting. Not interested in buying anything yet on that one, but just thought I'd point that out. This market's taken off. Copper really doing nothing. I wanted cocoa, just back to this for a second, I really wanted cocoa to trade back down to this level here. It didn't do that. It just basically created equal lows under the market here, and screamed higher. It didn't even look back for a second. Just ripped higher. And unfortunately, again, didn't get in on this one. They just didn't offer me anything to get into that I liked. And same with copper, and everything else above the sun from there. NZD USD, I think there's another little area down here where price could run into. We'll have to wait and see. We probably will see some rejection higher on this pair before it goes lower, so just keep an eye on that one. And I think that's about all I want. Do you guys have any questions? If you guys want me to take a quick look at a pair, I'd certainly be happy to do that for you real quick. If not, I'm going to end the session because there's really not a whole lot going on. I'm not doing any trading. My last trading day was Wednesday. Issued all my trades, and I am flat now for the rest of the week, going into next week. Won't be doing anything, so just keep that in mind. I would highly recommend you do the same. But if there's something you want me to check out, or got a question for me, I will stick around here for about another 2 minutes, and then I am going to run. So type your questions out now. I'll give you a second to do that. And other than that, I'm going to get rolling here. So. I'm actually going to be off as well, too, for the rest of the week, guys. I've got Dave coming in on Friday. He is going to be doing a live session on Friday for non-farm numbers coming out. He'll be coming in a little after non-farm starts up, about half an hour after. It's just the way his schedule lines up. So he'll start to talk about the moves and kind of watch some levels with you guys. And so you can watch for that. I'll shoot the links out Friday morning, but in terms of working and in the charts or anything like that, I'm basically taking the rest of the week off. I won't be doing anything. Reason is my wife and I are going into the hospital tomorrow, and we're having our second child tomorrow, so I will be out of commission for the rest of this week, and I'll definitely be doing some light trading into next week. If I get a chance to sit down in front of the charts, it'll be, you know, an hour here or an hour there. And I'll try and do a couple of live sessions best as I can. But unfortunately, just with a new baby, obviously, we're going to be pretty occupied with some stuff. So I'll be probably relying on my analysts quite heavily to pick up the slack for me on that one. So, you know, I apologize for the disruption in service, but, you know, life does happen, and family first, obviously, so I'm sure you guys understand that. So that's what's shaping up on the calendar for this guy for the next couple of weeks, and I don't see any questions coming through, so thanks very much for your time. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Remember, stay out of the markets, just study, don't trade. Non-farm coming up on Friday, and, you know, only professionals know how to trade. Non-farm is basically not for professionals. NFP, not for professionals. So that's who trades it. All the retail guys thinking they got an edge on the market, but highly recommend you don't do it. And anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Have a great night. We'll catch up to you later.